Hi, and thanks for connecting to our collective calls that we hold every Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Thursday, and hosting today's meeting, as always, Malika and myself, Ivan. So we got 3 projects today to share the pitch deck and then answer some questions. Just generally have a nice discussion and vibe here. And let me introduce them real quick. So we got Daniel, co-founder at RnDAO, then Giordano, representing Assetra project, and Jan, I believe, Bitwala co-founder. So let me introduce you real quick the rules of our call. So for the speakers, you have 5 questions for the pitch part and 10 minutes roughly for the Q&A section. For your convenience, we'll set a timer and remind you when it's 1 minute before your pitch time ends. And for you, our viewers, if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the chat or just raise your hand and ask the project anything directly. That would be way more convenient. And thanks for coming. After all, that's the last collective call of 2024. Let's make it real. And yeah, passing the mic to, well, Giordano, don't you mind be the first one?
Hello everyone, my name is Giordano. I'm the CEO of Assetra, and here at Assetra what we're basically doing is building a digital asset ecosystem to make crypto and digital assets a lot more accessible and a lot more customizable for our users. So just to tell you about Assetra, Assetra is an advanced digital asset platform that integrates customizable features, AI-powered trading tools, and innovative financial products to give global investors and traders more opportunities, right? At Assetra, our ecosystem is going to contain 5 core features: customizable interfaces, customizable charts, indicators, multiple order types, crypto derivatives, as well as AI-powered trading. I'll get a little bit more into the AI-powered trading as it is our main vertical for our ecosystem. What is our mission? Our mission is to empower people to participate in the exciting world of digital assets and help bridge the gap between traditional finance and the emerging digital asset economy. A lot of you have probably seen that, Trump went into power in the White House, won the election, and is going into the White House in 2025 as he's a pro-crypto president. This has sparked the bull market that we are currently in, where Bitcoin is hitting 100K. As you can see from the chart here, the growing interest from 2015 to 2024. As of right now, crypto has been growing a lot over the years. I would say at least 120% estimated each year. So at the time of this call, we have about 600 million users that participate in the crypto interaction as of right now, and it's still growing. So for the market opportunity, we estimate a total accessible market of 800 billion, serviceable accessible market of 58 billion, and serviceable obtainable market of 5 billion, right? This is estimated to have everyone in the global population investing $100 annually, right? So based on different factors, as you can see right now, crypto with Bitcoin at an all-time high, this right now is probably at least 3 times the amount that it could be, right? So the products that we offer at Assetra, for our MVP, we're offering a cryptocurrency exchange, a Web3 wallet, which is still being developed, and we're offering our Assetra token. For our post MVP, we'll have our blockchain, tokenized stock exchange, as well as NFT marketplace with all the different products, like a marketplace for ETFs and stuff like that. Now for features, we're having basic cryptocurrency interaction. We're talking about buying, selling, trading. We'll have our AI trading assistant generators, which we're still working as of right now, fine-tuning some of the major bugs and testing different APIs to make sure that is suitable for our MVP, as well as customizable interface. So for our post MVP, we'll have multiple order types, charts and indicators, as well as digital asset trading windows where you can trade different digital assets to one person. For instance, it doesn't matter if it's an ETF, NFT, or even crypto. You can put it in like an offer to somebody and trade. I'll get a little bit more into that at the end. So for the competitive landscape, this is how we rank up against different exchanges. We're talking OKX, BitMax, Binance, KuCoin, and Coinbase, right? I've traded on BitMax and Coinbase as well as Binance. I find that in terms of order types, they don't necessarily rank up to Assetra. So a normal exchange will offer 8 different order types. We want to offer 20 plus. As of right now, I do use Binance because of the low fees, but I do believe that we also can offer low fees based on how a lot of the trading is as of right now in the bull market. So regarding customizable interfaces, we are up there in terms of our customizer, right? I've traded on Bitmax, as I've said before, and I feel that the customizer that they have as of right now could use a lot more work. So that is what I want to do with Assetra, make it a lot more friendly, give the user a lot more freedom. Regarding security measures, we have different security measures in place, like firewall protection, anti-flush measures, DDoS protection, stuff to make the user or our users feel a lot safer when they're trading. And lastly, we also on offer high-speed order execution. We know when it's time for people to trade and it's a bull market and there's a lot more trading volume, there's a lot latency in terms of blockchain and the order type. So what we want to do is cut that down a lot, make sure orders are getting through. Regarding our competitive advantages, we have 4 competitive advantages. Trader insight. Some of the team, especially me, have traded for over 3 years. Another thing, our development team is also constantly trying to innovate the products that we have, getting feedback, and also just always open to innovation. We also have a user first approach as well as direct community interaction with our feedback. The core team right now is me as a CEO, Ashmeet Singh, our CTO, Claude Zenit, head of AI development, and Yash, head of security, chief security officer. So our long-term vision is to make digital assets more accessible and easy to trade worldwide, promoting mass adoption and empowering global participation. So this is our current roadmap. It's a 9-phase roadmap. We're currently in testing and feedback, and then we'll launch our token. So these are some milestones that we have. We've already launched our MVP. We're launch develop our MVP. We're conducting beta testing. We already have a lot of verified users. We're looking to launch our token and other stuff like start governance, release our mobile app, release our NFT marketplace, as well as other markets. So I'll just conclude the presentation as of right now. Hopefully I didn't go over the time.
All right, thank you, Giordano, for the pitch part. That was really interesting to hear. And now to Q&A part, guys, feel free to leave your questions and thoughts in the chat section or just raise your hand. And by the way, we already got a couple of them. Let me read those. So the first one goes like this. Can you share a story about a project that really stood out in your community?
I would say as of right now, there's this project called Volvo where they're looking to create credit cards with biomechanics. So basically, you could tap on the let's say you have that the what is it called, the card reader, where you can just tap on it and then you just have like the fingerprint on top of the card, right? And what they're basically doing is that they're trying to make it as where they have like a different layer of protection when you have like your card or your credit cards. So on the card you can have like your digital assets as well as your fiat card. So that's one thing I'd say that inspired me also.
Okay, hopefully that answered the question. Guys, thank you for the questions that you're leaving. Another one goes like this. What inspired you to create a decentralized approach to innovation?
Basically, I find that the current banking system is a big fraud. So a lot of people in here, if you're not familiar with the banking system, it has fractional banking reserve, where they basically take your money and push it out like 10 times. So basically with cryptocurrency, you can't print money. Everything is right on the blockchain itself. So whatever the supply is, that is the supply itself. And I like the entire concept of it. So you can't really tamper with it, you can't burn it, you can't destroy it. And that is one thing I feel is going to be the future, seeing as how we're slowly moving into a time where crypto is being a lot more mainstream.
Okay, thanks for answering that as well. Guys, we have still a couple of minutes for the Q&A part. Feel free to leave your questions. And by the way, one thing that interested me, could you elaborate on token utilities? So what's your token about and how it will be used?
Yeah, so there's a lot of perks to our Assetra token. So one of them is feature voting, right? A lot of our mission itself is to make an exchange where the user is comfortable, right? So one of the features is token voting, where you can vote on different features. You can beta test different features as well as give suggestions and ideas as to features you want on the exchange, right? Just seeing if it's feasible for the actual user itself or the community. Another thing is that you'll have low fees. You will also have perks like early sales to our NFTs that we plan to offer in probably a later time. It's not planned as yet.
Okay, thank you. There are a couple of questions I wanted to address, but still we got some questions in the chat, so there is a priority to them. Okay, so are you focusing on some specific markets as for MVP in terms of geography? Yeah, that's a nice one.
Regarding that, we are not focusing on any specific markets, but as of right now, we're looking to tap into the US. Sorry, we're looking to tap into the US market, India's market, as well as some of Europe. We hope to, expand to Asia and Africa as well as South America afterwards. But we want to establish where cryptocurrency is at an all-time high in terms of adoption. Like you have like Vietnam, you have India, you have the United States, as well as places like Dubai that are slowly coming into a crypto hub.
Okay, but would there be like legal difficulties with adapting like an exchange and then promoting it and all that, all the stuff that comes next?
Yeah, so we've already looked into the regulatory side, right? We want to set up an headquarter in Ecuador. Ecuador, as of right now, has Bitcoin as a legal tender. That is one reason why we want a headquarter in there, as well as headquarter in one place in the EU. It could be Poland, Czech Republic. That part is not finalized, but that would basically cover every regulatory compliance from South America, go all the way around, Asia, Europe, Russia, all that. Then America itself, regarding regulatory compliance, we would have to get exchanges for each individual state, which we are looking into. So regarding that, we will look into getting an exchange from the states that crypto is mostly, Ecuador, El Salvador. Yeah. So as I was saying, we will look into registering in states that mainly, use a lot of crypto. Like, we're looking at, Florida, Virginia, different states like that.
Okay, and here's the last one from me. So how are you going to compete for users and like, cutting them from Binance and OKX and other exchanges and bringing to your projects? Do you have like a solid market strategy for that? Or like when we are going to see the marketing campaign from your project?
So as of right now, we're doing a strictly organic campaign, and then afterwards, when we get a little bit more traction organically, we're gonna push a little bit more paid ads. As of right now, we're not necessarily targeting most users on other exchange. We're looking at people who are just trying to get in the digital asset space because of how crypto is going as of right now. A lot of people want to get into Bitcoin and Ethereum because of the prices at the all-time high. So we're targeting mainly people that want to get into the space first, and then afterwards we'll show people that have been trading in the space for like 2 or 3 years, like on Binance, BitMax, how our exchange itself ranks up to them. As I said before, since we're early, things have to be tested. We're looking for feedback. We want to make the user itself a lot more comfortable on the exchange, right? So as I say a lot, when I'm in Assetra meetings, more opportunities equal more options equal more opportunities, right? So we want to give the user a lot more freedom. Right, that answer.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, thank you, Giordano. That was Giordano from Assetra. And guys, feel free to get in contact with our speakers. You can find all the necessary contact links in the chat, just scrolling down or scrolling up, obviously. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, coming on next, we got another project on the line, Daniel, a co-founder at RnDAO. Please step in, passing the mic to you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Cool.
See the screen and the picture is good. Yeah, go ahead.
Great, thank you. So to tell you a bit story of how this came about, I started my career as a chef. I was obsessed with molecular cuisine, so I ended up working in about 4 of the 50 best restaurants in the world. However, by the time I got there, I realized that most of my culinary heroes had become depressed alcoholics and even suicidal in some cases. They were under tremendous amount of pressure to try to translate what they had created over many years and then reinvent it with every season. However, because they were so busy, they were out of ideas. They didn't know how to do this. And at the same time, they were surrounded by young, passionate people that were really full of ideas, but didn't know how to translate these ideas into practice. So in some way, you had all the right ingredients in the right place, but not working together. And these empires that have been built over decades of sacrifice were slowly sinking in the sand. So through seeing this, I realized 2 things. 1, that I didn't want to continue my career as a chef, but 2, that the larger problem was human collaboration. And I started speaking with a lot of friends in other industries, realizing that similar patterns occurred across the world of dance, architecture, management consulting, etc., etc., etc. Looking at the data, we have that we are losing about $8.8 trillion per year because people are disengaged at work, because the way we work together is not working. And the lifespan of corporations at the same time just keeps on going down and down and down, because the systems we have don't allow us to adapt and coordinate to work together effectively. At the same time, the tools that we have to address these challenges are a massively growing market. Right now is a little bit over 350 billion in B2B SaaS, but this is growing over 18% per year. However, we are like, okay, there is this great opportunity to solve it, but really building startups is super hard, and the failure rates are really staggering. On top of this, we have mental health issues for founders, the lack of diversification, etc. And we have the game is mostly rigged against you. So becoming a traditional startup founder is an irrational choice. We do it because we are pathologically obsessed with it, but it's not really a healthy path for the majority of us. So as we started to look through this problem over a little bit more than a decade, where the conclusion that we take is that the stories of successful startups all have in common that you have a whole village, a whole community around that is chipping expertise and contributing to the success of this startup. There is no lone solo founders that succeed. Those are extremely rare. And also there is a tremendous amount of expertise that are accumulated through going through this cycle over and over. Like, that's also what's leading to the fetishization of serial founders these days by VCs, is there is just a tremendous amount that needs to be learned, and that compounds, especially if we continue in the same industry. So where, as I was saying, a little bit over a decade of research into organization design, future of work, etc., end up leading us, is that we believe that the future is not solopreneurs. We love the creator economy and all of that, but really the solopreneurs are an exception, and is lonely and hard and not very resilient. And the corporate model is severely broken. However, we see a new model emerging that we're calling swarms. And these are networks of small teams that work together and can collaborate and scale. Perhaps one of the best examples of this is Hire, that is a Chinese IoT corporation, the number one in the world in this area. They have 80,000 employees, $36 billion in revenue. They are acquiring pieces of the Americans and eating up a lot of the American IoT and kitchen manufacturing sector. And they're structured as a loose network of 4,000 micro-enterprises that are owned by Hire, the teams that operate in these micro-enterprises, as well as external investors. Essentially, each of micro-enterprises is building a modular solution so they can collaborate with each other through integrations, through co-investing, through building different communities to deliver more complex organizational structures and more complex services. That is ultimately what the users want. So we started to look into how to do these and essentially narrow it down to 4 key components. One is the use of venture studios, interdependent units, sweat the equity so that people can contribute with their labor, and orchestrating crowd collaboration. I'll jump over a little bit of these details, but what this ultimately enables is that we can marry economies of scope while at the same time have better UX, because each of the individual teams can move faster than in a bureaucracy, but we can also leverage the benefits of economies of scale that traditional corporations go. So we started to build one of these. We now have about 8 ventures in our portfolio that we have organized and built as a DAO, with about 54 contributors and a larger community of 1,500 people that have been involved in building these things. And 3 of these ventures are already revenue generating. The first one got incubated by Techstars, etc. And now we're partnering with Arbitrum to deliver the second innovation program in partnership with them and grow with another further 4 ventures. So this, I'll leave you here, but is to say that anyone who thought that DAOs couldn't build products and that the lone startup model was the end of the story, we're very happy to have proven that this is not the case. And we're hoping to inspire others with the model so it can also be applied across other verticals.
Thanks, Daniel, for the pitch. And yeah, straight to Q&A part. I've already got a couple of questions, just a question. And here goes. Can you please describe a day in the life of an RnDAO community member? Interesting.
Yeah, thank you. So I would say about maybe 60 to 70% of our community members work in a single venture. So it wouldn't be too different than working in a startup. It's remote first. So you'll wake up, do your day job, collaborate with people from 4, 5, 6 other different countries in what feels like a very traditional startup. However, there is another maybe 30% that are operating across 2 or 3 ventures, and they split their time and resources. Some ventures will pay them fiat. In other ventures, they're actually working for free because they believe in that venture, etc. So we have these swarm workers who are essentially managing their own risk and deciding in which situations do I work for just what this venture can pay me now. In other cases, I'm just going to become a sort of co-founder into this venture because I believe and bootstrap it. And each contributor can find the mix of these and look for the opportunities that match their talents. So it can become a very collaborative environment in that sense, but also is quite fluid and dynamic. So these smaller percentage are very frequently changing from one organization to the other. Fun fact, we had a contributor who's doing a lot of research into how neurons fire and operate between each other outside the brain. So just by growing clusters of neurons, and the electrical patterns that neurons show actually match the same dynamic that we have in our organization.
Yeah, thanks for answering that. Another one goes like this: how do you keep the community motivated and involved in the decision-making process?
Yeah, so one of the solutions that we're developing is we have 2-3 different solutions that we're developing for this. One thing is we created a tool called Harmonica Chat. And what Harmonica allows you to do is to use an AI chatbot to engage in a one-on-one conversation that can replace what would happen in a meeting. So it's actually running a facilitated process, like essentially running a workshop, but you can do this at large scale. So you don't need people to engage synchronously, like no need to schedule a meeting, no need to restrict the number of people who can participate, and still it gives you some of these engagement that you get through human interaction, through having it. So this is one of the tools, but another of the things is all of these people are actually contributors. They are the large majority of their time, they are in our community. They're not just part-time speculators or detached investors. So they have a lot of skin in the game, and they already have a lot of context for decision making. So they don't need to go and read a bunch of forums. They already know what's happening. So the cost of participating in governance, in terms of like the time attention cost, is a lot lower compared to communities where the contributors are less engaged.
Okay, perfect. Third question I got from the chat from Luis. Very nice pitch. How many of the 54 members vote, and how do their responsibilities differ? And how do vote on ventures to join? How do you vote on ventures to join? Okay.
Yeah, an important thing is we really believe in delegation, and essentially what we're trying to create is not a gigantic DAO where all decisions are made by everyone together, but it's more a collection of small teams with cross ownership that are part of an alliance. In this sense, out of the 54 members, the majority of them are simply owners and working in one of the ventures. So they have an interest in the ecosystem, but they're not directly involved at the ecosystem strategy level. We do have about 18 contributors who participate regularly at the ecosystem strategy level, but the majority of the ecosystem strategy level decisions are delegated to a unit that provides venture support for the ventures and also is creating the strategy for the ecosystem. Ventures usually join by engaging with these units that sort of manages the programs of venture support. And that decision is done when with one of our partners like Arbitrum now, where we just unlocked the second partnership. There is an investment committee that makes that decision. However, ventures can also apply to join through governance, and we have had a few that simply applied to the community and said, hey, I would love to join, here is my proposal. That is negotiated then with a few members who have expertise and then presented to the larger community to be ratified by a vote.
Oh, that's so cool. Nice to hear that. Another one actually from me. So we got a little time for the Q&A, but still I'd like to ask that. So what are your further plans, especially for 2025? So what about the roadmap?
Sure, thank you. So as I was saying, we're hoping to increase by at least 50% the number of ventures in the ecosystem over the next 6 months. At the same time, we're starting to contemplate the idea of raising an internal fund where we can this way also scale up what we're deploying into the ventures and unlock more partnerships with other ecosystems as well. We're as well super interested in the global majority movement, what is being titled Global South countries, as we see that there is tremendous potential for collab tech to disrupt some of the legacy practices, lack of legal systems, lack of effective coordination mechanisms, etc., that exist in a lot of these geographies. So we're potentially going to be doing some research and maybe even launching some ventures or partnering with some ventures in these areas as well.
Thank you for answering that. And I think it's going to be the last one for this Q&A. So this is from Alan. The idea looks interesting. I'm curious about how RnDAO deals with efficiency challenges in which DAO members lack commitments and responsibility when working for DAOs, since there is no employment contract type of thing.
Yeah, so again, like we have broken down into very small units. So each venture where the work actually happens is a very small team. We have an assessment framework that every month there is a peer-to-peer assessment to verify that people are contributing as expected, below expected, or above expected. That is for committed contributors. And this actually affects their compensation, especially their sweat equity compensation. So we have this concept of minimum fiat, and you kind of get paid that minimum fiat, but any extra effort that you're putting in goes towards ownership of the teams. So this is not implemented in all teams. Some are more traditional, but in general, that system works. Also, we have a free tier contributor model where we have leads who are essentially a founder, contributors who are just looking after the trees, so looking after a specific part, and they have a minimum commitment that they do. And then we have supporters who are more like bounty hunters. So supporters will only get given by the contributors a highly scoped small piece of work, and they're only paid upon completion of this task. Generally, when you start as a supporter, you're given tasks that if are never completed, is like, well, that's not a huge problem. It's not existential. It was a small thing to test someone. And then you start given more and more core tasks until you progress to become a contributor or a lead.
Okay, thanks for answering the last question. That was Daniel from RnDAO. And guys, if you want to get in contact, just feel free to go up ahead in the chat and find all the links. We got the Telegram, email, and all that stuff. So thank you, Daniel, for tuning in. Wish you best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And to our third speaker, we got Jan, co-founder at Bitwala project. So please step in. Thank you for coming.
Hello, thanks for the invitation. Happy to share my story.
Yep, the screen is sharing. Please go ahead. I'll set the timer right away.
Okay, good evening. Hello, I'm Jan, and I'm the founder and managing director of Bitwala. And you're all crypto investors, I believe, and you all have to do the decision between trusting yourself or trusting a third party. So self-custody or custody. And that concludes three major problems. Problem number one, if you self-custody, you rely on this seed phrase. You have to write down 12 pieces on a piece of paper. Welcome to the 21st century. So, and you will easily lose them, right? You will easily misplace them, mismanage them, and you're not the only one. That's why crypto owners and investors are afraid to trust themselves. And they are right, 4 million Bitcoins are lost forever. So many investors now, many cryptos investors leave their cryptos on central exchanges, I think around 60%. And this is problem number two. Just another million Bitcoin disappeared on central exchanges. If you haven't lost money in crypto, you are a unicorn. And the third problem is, in real life, you can't pay with your crypto because less than 1% of the merchants worldwide accept crypto. So welcome Bitwala, your one and only all-in-one solution for securely and conveniently transacting, trading, holding and spending crypto while remaining in control. So we use our multi-party computation wallet to eliminate any single point of failure by splitting the key into three locations: your phone, your cloud, and our cloud. So you will automatically generate and backup, recover your wallet. You can easily and securely store, send to receive, as well as 24/7 instantly buy, sell your crypto. You can deposit and withdraw free instant bank transfers from and to your and our bank account. You can hodl by creating a savings plan, invest automatically without any volatility, daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, and last but not least, We make every merchant in the world accept crypto with our Visa debit card. So we move crypto across the chasm with MPC, with an app that makes crypto payments as easy as sending an email. Who is we? That's Dennis, my partner, and myself. No one has built the crypto apps ever we needed, so we always build it ourselves since more than 10 years. I'm the founder of Europe's first crypto card in 2015. Together we launched Europe's first crypto bank in 2019. We scaled that company to 50,000 monthly active users, 10 million revenue in 2020. Unfortunately, that company is no more because it was too centralized and failed during the crypto winter. However, now we both as a co-founder, we own the IP and we are using it to build Bitwala. And Bitwala is unique because we are the only solution offering the best of both worlds, Web3 and the real world. So we have launched less than a year ago and we achieved our current growth without any marketing budget because our users know our brand since a decade. We already have 1,000 active users by the end of last quarter and reached 10,000 transactions across all products, which proves the stickiness. Our customers are using crypto for more than 50% of all card transactions, proving that crypto is not just a store of value, but also a means of payment. The stickiness and the revenue per paying customer is constantly increasing, as you can see here, because we are offering such a platform. We are on track to generate around 150K revenue in our first year, and looking forward, we will break even next year, reaching 5 to 10 million in revenue in 26, just as we have done in the past. However, all 75% of our legacy users have been from Germany, and right now there's less than 50%. This is because we can't advertise these markets currently. We want to establish a German license setup to quadruple our growth, go from 15 to 75% of Germany speaking. And guess what? That costs money. That's why we're fundraising. In 23, in December last year, we closed our pre-seed. Now we're raising our seed round. Just a couple of months ago, we became the first and only company in Europe to introduce a compliant security token, which you can invest in. Whether we invest or token in equity, let's get in touch. We are money agnostic. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan, for the pitch part. That was great. Personally, I really like the visuals. That's a cool presentation. Yeah, guys, now to Q&A part, feel free to address any questions to Jan. We'll be really curious to hear them out.
You're welcome. I haven't seen anything in the chat yet.
Well, while guys are thinking, let me be the first one addressing that. So you mentioned that you got 2 guys on the team, but what about the advisors and, I would say that's, the advisors and strategic partners. So what advisors, strategic partners you got so far?
Before I talk advisors, we just promoted our lead architect to CTO. So we are 3 now in the C-level, 2 founders, however, also a CTO, I guess is worth mentioning. And our advisors are, for example, Heiner Settelmeier, who works for Yabiro from Switzerland, who is an investor himself, and Michael Plank, who worked as a CIO for several Swiss banks, as well as former colleagues. From the crypto bank we found before, like an ex-CFO and an ex-CPO. So I think we have all our blind spots covered in our board.
Okay, great. Yeah, we've already got some questions in the chat. So first one goes like this. With your MPC wallet balancing self-custodial and custodial features, how do you make sure users feel both secure and in control?
The answer is yes. Is this a question? The answer is yes. So with MPC, you remain in control and you feel secure. If you have 3 keys split across and you need 2 out of 3, and you have 2 out of 3, you're always in control. And in case you lose your phone, access to your phone, or it gets stolen, you can use the backup basically to migrate to a new phone. So you're independent. You don't rely on us. You don't rely on your phone. And you don't rely on yourself, basically, because you can have a secure enclave, which is bulletproof, where one key shard is encrypted. The other one is in Google Drive or in the Apple iCloud as well, encrypted and hopefully with two-factor. And last but not least, the third key shard is with encrypted within our service. So yeah, I believe that it's not just secure and being in control, but it's also very convenient. Next question.
Yeah, thanks you for the question and for answering that as well. So that we have a couple of them as well. So do you have any partners in using this for healthcare?
No, right now we are focusing on B2C and small businesses, like very small businesses, such as freelancers, like single person businesses. But we are industry agnostic. However, currently our customers are rather IT and finance industry than healthcare.
Okay, thank you. The third one goes like this. What's been the biggest surprise since you launched in 30 European countries?
That's a good one. My biggest surprise was that Switzerland is not part of the European economic area. Yeah, and that the UK doesn't want to be either. I mean, that was not a surprise, but
yeah, that's kind of funny. Okay, hopefully that answered the question. And yeah, we got another one. Do you guys offer virtual or physical cards now? Another question, is there going to be a token or its utility round? Hi from Germany, by the way.
We offer virtual and physical cards. Absolutely. We just got approved by Visa, so we will brand the cards ourselves. And so, yeah, we are open for equity, obviously, with convertible loans. Is what you do in Germany instead of SAFT. And we have a security token live. So the security token is pretty cool. It's built on Ethereum. It's easily transferable. You pay the same price as the community pays the same price as investors, and you don't need notary. It's audited, it's a smart contract, you can receive dividends, participate in the exit, and convert it to shares. So I believe this is something really unique. We are planning to launch a utility token. Happy to discuss this on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, by the way, let me remind you real quick that we post contact details in the chat, so feel free to get in contact. Okay, so another one goes like this. Private branding of physical cards available. But by the way, how could one order a card? So where a user should go to purchase the card, maybe on the website? Is that correct?
We offer iOS and Android mobile app. So
okay.
There you have to sign up and order a card.
And how much does it cost?
A card is $10 right now.
Oh, that's pretty cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, the virtual card is one.
Oh, pretty cool. And by the way, do you collect the feedback from users? Because you obviously been in the game with this project 1 year. So what feedback do you guys receive?
Yes, I'm in charge of customer service. So I collect on every contact point, I collect feedback, quantitative and qualitative. I've been doing this since 10 years. I can share the roadmap. So they want cashback, they want Bitcoin layer 2, such as Lightning Network integrated. These are the most important ones, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, guys, feel free to address more questions. Malika, you too as well.
Yeah, let's read the question from the chat.
Go ahead.
Can you explain the rationale Bitwala wants to build its own chain and why this would be on the second stage?
We not necessarily want to build our own chain. We're going to use or like one of the providers which are out there is called Bitcoin OS. So they kind of provide the middleware. So basically a platform and they will build it for us so we don't have to. But we can then provide seamless card payments, instant card payments. We basically then are able to seamlessly connect the old world, let's say the TradeFi world, like the instant banking transfers and the Visa card payments with Bitcoin layer 2. So with the Bitcoin layer 1, you have sometimes, like recently, really high fees. Like you have fees $10, $20, $30. Sometimes it's probably not worth it to pay your coffee with crypto in this moment. And it's also not instant. And that would be the case with a layer 2.
Yeah, and how are you planning to promote the app, especially in Germany, where you haven't lost the market, but you're not growing, right?
Yeah, right now we can only provide a beta version to German customers in English. Yeah, and we will just switch to the German language. We have everything ready to switch to start actively market in German, in the German market, and not just Germany, but also Austria, for example, and other basically markets which speak German, even if they're not based in Germany. Let's say Netherlands, for example. And through our most successful channels, first of all, our legacy customers. So we had 200,000 legacy customers. We are still in touch with them. We will address them. That's a low-hanging fruit, obviously. And last but not least, community management. That has been most successful. And referrals, but also affiliates.
Okay, got you. Thanks. And another question from the chat. Who are your competitors and why Bitwala?
Our competitors used to be the bigger companies. Everybody knows them, like Binance or Coinbase. However, they stopped offering their cards in Germany. So no, we don't consider them as competitors anymore. A lot of companies who are not based in Germany have a really hard time to get licensed here and to address the market. But because we are based in Germany, that will be a challenge for not a challenge. That will be basically an advantage for us. Why Bitwala? That's an easy one. Bit stands for the smallest digital unit, but obviously it also represents Bitcoin. So it's about being digital money. And Wala stands for Havala, the oldest decentralized money system out there, which existing longer than banks. And a trader is called Havala, or in short Wala. Obviously, everybody knows a Wala, maybe a T-Wala, Shai-Wala, Police-Wala. So it's a trader, somebody, a trustful businessman. And if put together, we are trading crypto and we are friendly and just charge a very small commission.
I thought it is short of wallet, like bits.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so we got some time for the last question, and I wanted to know. So you've been in the game for 10 years or so. So what mistakes did you make, and what lessons did you take from those, like from that experience? In what can you recommend or for like upcoming entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I probably have to write a book or make a workshop about that.
Yeah, you can answer like in a short way. Just, yeah.
Like just pointing out one single thing is stay laser focused. Solve one problem at a time.
Okay, yeah, that's a great ending point for your part for the Q&A. Thank you, Jan, for performing. That was a great pitch in the Q&A section. Wish you best of luck. And yeah, guys, wish you best of luck to all of our projects I've been pitching today. It was so nice to hear you guys out, and thank you for participating, addressing some questions. That was really interesting. And if you guys want to hop in our calls and be our next guest, just feel free to fill the form for participation. And we also collect some feedback. We already got a couple of those. It was really interesting to read them. So feel free to fill that feedback form as well. And yeah, thanks for coming. Thank you, Malika, for helping me hosting that. And yeah, wish you best of luck. Wish you upcoming Merry Christmas. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned in. See you next time, next year.